welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your preview for the game against Real Betis in the Europa League, and we're basically through. We've smashed them in the first game. So this is a game basically where if you just don't get dicked, you're pretty much through to the quarterfinals. Another one where, you know, you can't let complacency set in, and you can't let it become incompetence. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll get through. We've got Sam and Dave alongside me. Not going to ask you how you're feeling, how you are, how you feel about this game. Like I said to you, it's not the mundane usual shit. What I'm actually going to ask you is, who is your favourite Spanish football player of all time?
Ooh.
With being Real Betis, Spanish themed, of course.
No, I like that. That was good.
I want to go. I don't want to go for an obvious one. I want to go slightly left field.
I've not even thought about this either. I thought I'd rather just save it into the thinger.
I think I want to go David Villa.
Nice. Very good shout.
I love
I've
David
got David
Villa.
Villa top
Yeah.
here.
It's a good
Watching him for Valencia was fucking phenomenal. That's why I fell in love with Valencia as like my Spanish team, because David Villa, man, he was something. He was unreal. So yeah, I go with David Villa.
Tell you what, Valencia have had some absolute ballers, haven't they?
Yeah.
You look at some of the players that have come
Back
from
in the
there,
day.
David Silva, I think Juan Mata,
Yeah.
first started up there. Like, they had loads. Dave, any shouts?
Oh, speaking of, it's probably. I love that Spanish contingent that United used to have a few years ago.
Mm.
And so they were, when they were all at the club, and we were sort of in the LVG/Mourinho bit, they were my three favourite players.
Okay.
But I think the first football shirt I ever bought was a Mata one. But then the one that I've worn quite a lot was my De Gea one. So I'll probably say De Gea, because over the years, he saved us so many points, had so many massive performances. I'll go Big Dave.
Can I also shout out Ander Herrera, my
I was
personal
just about to
favourite.
mention that.
Personal
I
favourite. I didn't want to put a United player in. But if we're talking United players, favourite Spanish United players, Ander Herrera all day. And one of my favourite United players of all time is Ander Herrera. But if we're going, he's not played for United, David Villa.
My non-United player would actually probably be David Silva.
Nice.
I think he was just phenomenal.
He was.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
He was.
Yeah.
As
that floating, what are you doing
Yeah.
this team now? Like, oh my God, unbelievable. When you look at Vegas, anyway, when he plays in that 10. Yeah. I've got a bit more bougie in my shouts. I've gone for Raul and Iniesta. I'm two massive fans of them. Thought Raul was sensational in his prime, and Iniesta, don't need to really say any more about him. They were a fantastic player. Now, before we get stuck into the preview, guys, we're going to talk about a little bit of breaking news towards the end as well, so make sure you stick around for that. But please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing for weekly content, regular updates, and a range of personalities you've never seen before. Smash a like on the video as well. If you want to join Adam for the watch-along tomorrow, it'll be live from 4:45 with team news on the dot, so make sure you get your comments in the chat and, keep him company, if you will. Like I said, this preview is going to be slightly different. So instead of the usual preview warm-up, give me one player, past, present, and one for the future in one position that you love. So if it's a left-back, for example, you could do, I don't know, Ashley Cole, Luke Shaw, and then, a young left-back.
Wait, what? Any position?
So one position, yeah. So once you pick one position, it's got to be one from the past, one from the present, and then maybe a youngster who looks good in that role, for example.
I
could throw one.
Is it United or anybody in the world?
No, anything. Anyone.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you give me an entire catalogue.
Well, I could throw mine out there if you want a little bit, a little bit of time to think. So I'll go Nedved, Vinicius, and Ahmad. That's big fans of the players. Of course. Nedved, I was obsessed with Nedved back in the day.
He was a quality
Oh,
baller.
he was so fucking good, man. Yeah. And in the pink kit, the Juventus pink kit with the little sky thing on the front, proper nostalgic moments. So, yeah. I'll go with them.
Maybe I might go with the winger fit, because I've always been a fan of wingers. So I think I might go with the winger fit. So I might go Ronaldinho, past.
Ooh.
Present. Who do I like in the present?
A winger at the present right now. You like Garnacho, but you could use that for the future one.
Yeah, Garnacho might be my future one. I'm trying to think. Modern day wingers. So wingers, it's more of a left forward thing now, isn't it? It's more of a
yeah.
wingers
There's different kinds of wingers.
Well, you're not going to pick anyone from City. You're not going to pick anyone from
No.
Liverpool, are you? So are you going to think outside of? You think Mbappe maybe as a winger, or you can think
Mbappe, like, is just an obvious. I wanna like
Okay.
think about it a bit more. Maybe if Dave's got some. Well, I think of my modern one. If Dave's got
you like
anything.
Chiesa, don't you?
You like Chiesa. I like who's the other guy who is it Spinazzola? I like him as well.
Yeah, I think he's more of a wing back though. Spinazzola for Roma. Yeah. Dave, any shouts?
The only ones I could really think of are goalkeepers at the minute. So, but I'll go for the older era. I'll go Van der Sar. He was always my favourite.
Yeah,
and then modern era, you can't really look further than Alisson, to be honest with you. He's probably the best all-round goalkeeper in the world. And then the future, who I hope United actually do sign, is Diogo Costa from Porto.
Oh, very
He's like quite young, but still, his trajectory's going up. He had a couple of shaky games in the World Cup, but like he's been great at any time I've tuned in to watch Porto in their games.
We had scouts yesterday watching him, didn't we? I don't know if you saw news around that.
There's been news all season of us looking at Costa.
Definitely something in it. I don't think Shreyas would be happy about that if we do go get him. But
definitely not.
Yeah.
Why not? What Shreyas said.
Because he absolutely loves De Gea, doesn't he? So he doesn't want him replaced. Like
I say, he's been my favourite player for years. But like, there's a time when you've just got to move on. Like we all love Rooney, but we knew it was time to move on. You know what I mean?
Wow, Dave dropping absolute bombshells in the show. Yeah, that's going to be a super interesting situation. Have you thought
I'm gonna go with Chiesa, I think, because in the Euros I thought he was fantastic, and then every time I've seen him play for his club, I think he's been a quality player. And if like United obviously we don't need a winger right now, but like when we were looking at like wingers and stuff like that, I was like that would have been a nice dream signing. But yeah, I think I'll go with that. They'll be my choices.
Cool. Yeah, people in the chat, if you're watching now or you're watching later on, give me one player, past, present, and one for the future in a current position you love. Please drop that in the comments section. Next up, an all-time, you might not have one, so it's absolutely fine, an all-time favourite kit. Just a kit in general.
Ooh.
Or you can give me a top three if you want.
United black, yellow, sharp view cam with the collar. I think
94. When Cantona kicks that bang on it.
That was a gorgeous kit.
That's one of my favourites.
It's one of my favourites. It's definitely up there.
I was looking at buying it, and it's like 300 quid in classic football shop. And I was like,
for that one behind you.
Oh no, my mate will absolutely kill me. Like, where's that? Why is he a different kit to what I give you?
Do you know what as well? Do you know the Japan one from the World Cup recently? I thought it was absolutely amazing. Like
Nigeria always have.
Nigerian kit. Well. Oh yes,
always have great kits.
Nigerian kit World Cup 2000 and.
Is that your top three, Sam? Nigeria, Japan, and the.
Nigeria.
No, Japan, United one, and then I've got to think of a third one. The Nigerian one was nice.
I'm gonna throw Real Madrid's purple kit when they won the Champions League. I think when they did La Decima. Massive fan of that. Ronaldo in that. Yeah. Unbelievable.
You know what? I've got it. I've got it actually. Venezia's kit, the black one. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
The collar and the gold back.
Black, orange, green collar in it.
Oof.
Orange, green collar. Gorgeous kit. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There's my three favourites. I like them.
Also, get your shouts in as well. The comment section. Get your favourite kits from past or present. Again, I want to see some comments in there. Top
Madrid
three.
Always had I don't know if I could give you a top three, to be honest with you.
Give me one then.
I will give you. My favourite one is. I can't remember which year it was, but there's like a specific Nigerian one from like maybe the last.
I know which one you're on about.
That was beautiful. I think everyone bought that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like
everyone
a white,
was
green,
that
black,
kit.
really like.
You couldn't get it
on the front.
You couldn't buy it
kit.
anywhere. It sold out. It sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
I tried to get one. Couldn't get one.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, I remember Madrid, like every year they'd have like a different coloured third kit. Like one time it'd be green, sometimes it'd be black, sometimes it'd be pink. It was there's no consistency there. It's quite funny, isn't it?
No, Real Madrid always nail the kits though. I think they love it.
do.
I've got loads of them. Loads of Real Madrid kits hung up there. Like they've always got gorgeous ones. Whereas we, like for the past 10, 20 years or whatever, aside from that one really, which I was a fan of, and some of the Vodafone ones, I think some of them have been absolute dog shit from 2010 to 2020.
there's a new thing. I'm not sure if it's going to go on like all the kits or just some of the training apparel, but like Adidas are doing a special different coloured 3-stripe on some of ours, which could be interesting.
Yeah. I just want to do like it's Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs globally. Like, how are you not doing nice kits for him? Some of the retro range that we was talking about last night is gorgeous, very expensive, but gorgeous. And I just think, just need to shake up a little bit on the kits.
Jordan with PSG, they make some really cool apparel and some kits and stuff because it's like Jordan who sponsored them, and it's just like, if they can do it, why can't we? Why as the biggest club on the planet, why have we not got the best kit designers in the world designing something special, and it'll just sell out all over the planet? I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
I'm not entirely sure how it works because it's obviously it's Adidas that makes them. I'm not sure if it's someone who works with United who does it, or they just sort of come up with it and then pass it to the board. I don't know how it works.
They just get a junior designer, and they're just like, "Have you got anyone who's just a kid who just wants to design a kit for free?" And they're like, "Yeah."
They
and
did
like,
that one season, didn't they?
It won't surprise me. Just that, just get them to send it in, and then we'll just use whichever the best one is. Save them a bit of money.
That grey one, and like in the background, it was like the Trinity statue.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys remember the advert that Adidas tried doing. They did it in house, so they got rid of all of their like the basically the team who did the advertising and these experts. They got rid of them and tried doing it themselves. I advise you to go watch it online. It's fucking terrible. It's got Kendall Jenner. They're trying to do that. Yeah, just watch it. I can't speak about it too much, but it's absolutely shocking. So yeah, Adidas, I've had a few slip ups there. In fairness, the team that we're playing tomorrow, Betis, I know I got you one, didn't I, Sam? But the actual kit they're wearing tomorrow, I think that's gorgeous as well. Like I like the colorway with the white and green thing. So yeah, that was kind of me segue to the next thing, a bit of an obvious segue. But the game ahead tomorrow, we are going to speak about it slightly, not too much, because again, it's one of them kind of ties. But we are 4-1 up. You would think that Vegas goal has pretty much sent us through, but stranger things have happened in ties. We've seen it before. Barcelona at Anfield, for example. We are away. They have scored 3 in the Europa League before in the group stage, but the odds for doing that tomorrow would be absolutely astronomical. So we're not expecting it. Sam, no chance that that happens tomorrow, is there?
I'd say slim to none, but I wouldn't put it absolutely out of the realm of possibility because, like we said, stranger things have happened. So I think if we don't concede within the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, I think we'll be all right, and then that's it. It's game done. But I think if they get a goal early,
think it could be nervy.
Things might get a bit tricky. Just a little bit. I don't think we lose, even if that happens. But I think we've seen when we've gone behind, we get a little bit nervy. We get a little bit all over the place. Defense gets a bit shaky, and if it's over rotated, which I think it will be, like heads might start to go a little bit, especially with Maguire, Lindelof, that kind of stuff. We could see that, but I think if we keep it nice and boring, nice and steady for 15, 20 minutes, I think we'll be fine then and be out of sight, and we'll probably score 1 or 2 at some point as well, just to make sure that the game's put to bed. But yeah, I wouldn't say absolutely zero chance of going out, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, if you're worried, what I'm just thinking then is this little blue thing, but it's just a pen. I'm just messing about with it and thinking, what the fuck is that? Yeah, Dave, going off the last game, what did you think our weaknesses was in that? What worried you in it in the first leg, and then what did we do well, do you think?
It got to the point where the teams have essentially figured out that United don't really like being pressed that much because we've not really got the players to be able to deal with it. We got some players who are actually absolutely brilliant if you're not like pressing them constantly, which I suppose that's generally what a lot of players are. You need some sort of special people in your squad to be able to deal with that. So that's our definitely biggest issue. I just don't think Southampton against them we were good enough, really. It's
even in the first half. Do you think it's quite
easy to look at it. Oh yeah, I think actually it's almost strange, but from what I was watching, it felt like we were more comfortable when we were at 10 men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it felt like that was more of a normal performance than like it was just quite shaky beforehand, and Casemiro did not play well for that first part of it, but like he's been great all season, but like that was not a very good little cameo before he got sent off. So I think he's gonna be back to his old self in this game. Just fortunately the ban doesn't apply to Europe.
I know.
But I just think we need to sort of reset ourselves and go like, right, forget that blip against Southampton, just go again. Try and just play how we've been playing recently. And if we get pressed like that, maybe just try and bypass it. Because I think until we've get everyone in with the personnel we want to do in the next season, we are going to struggle. So we need to try and figure out a way how to bypass getting pressed like that.
Oh, you've always got Maguire on the bench if you need to stick him up top. We've done it
Exactly,
against the Spanish team before, so why not? Why not get some minutes out of Barry? Sam, how do you get the players motivated for this? Because even as fans, we're like, meh, aren't we?
I think you use it as opportunity to bring in the fringe players and be like, right, basically play for a spot, impress me, and you could take a spot. Because I think, obviously, I believe Anthony's out. He didn't train today, so that could indicate that he's not going to play or be part of the squad. So you could say to like a Pellistri or someone like that, look, Anthony might be injured for a bit. This could be your spot. I'll start here, play well, and you never know, it could be yours. That's how Ten Hag rewards his players. Like if you play well or you do well in training, you get opportunities. So that's how you motivate, I think, a rotated squad. So you just say this is an opportunity for you to get into the team. We've been a bit unstuck for the last couple of games, like obviously the Liverpool game, which we won't mention. Everything went tits up, and then the first sort of 20 minutes of Betis, it was a bit tricky. We got put under the cosh a little bit, especially with David De Gea's distribution, and then obviously Southampton. So fatigue's kicking in, and we're making mistakes, and we're letting things happen. So if you can get some fringe players and basically like, look, if you want to try and save this and take a spot off somebody else who's not doing as well, whether that's through fatigue or just genuine mistakes, it's yours. And we know he'll do it because Bolasie took Luke Shaw's spots after the first two games, and then Luke Shaw's won it back. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. This is not Jose or Ole, where just do not change the squad at all. So that's how I'd approach it if I was Ten Hag.
One thing with the fringe players for me is sometimes when you see him come on and have a cameo and they look really good, I think it's easier to think that because they've done that cameo, they can then perform for 90 minutes. I remember with Garnacho when he was coming on for 20, 25, looking really good and threatening.
Sancho.
Everybody was screaming for him. Yeah, Sancho as well, like against Leicester, looked fantastic. It's almost like we've got like 9 impact players up top. But yeah, I feel like that's something you might be worried about. You playing for a full game, Pellistri for 90 minutes doesn't exactly show the same quality. It loses a bit of confidence. Like it is a very kind of tightrope that you're walking with that, I feel. But yeah, I'm hoping he gets to start because I think from what I've seen, he's deserved it and he's definitely earned it on merit because he's come on. That run that he did in the last game where he just like again went past like 5-6 players and managed to get across, and you're like, that's what you want. That's what we've wanted to see from Anthony and Sancho every time they've come on. So I think he definitely deserves an opportunity, whether that'll be 45, 90, no idea. Our potential opponents in the quarterfinals. So I've got a list of teams who we could potentially play. I just want to get your thoughts on this. So you've got Arsenal or Sporting, Feyenoord or Shakhtar, Sevilla, Fenerbahce, Union Berlin, or some of the team never heard of before, so we don't need to worry about them, even though I think they did draw. Roma or Real Sociedad, Juventus and Freiburg, and then Ferencvaros, whoever the fuck that is, and then Bayer Leverkusen. So out of them teams, who do you fancy? Who worries you? Who do you want to play, etc.? Talk to me.
I think based on this round, we're going to draw Sevilla.
Oh, God. Fucking hell.
They're near the bottom of the league, though, aren't they?
They are.
Sevilla. I think they're fighting relegation.
You know what I mean,
I couldn't believe it.
We had Sociedad, then we had Barca, now we have Betis. It's like, we're going to complete
it's an all-Spanish tie, yeah.
It's going to happen, yeah.
Give us the La Liga trophy. You might as well.
We don't do well against Sevilla, by the way. It's not normally a good game.
It was under Jose won it when we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that was awful.
Round of 16, whatever it was. Can't remember.
Yeah. That was shit. Is Villarreal still
Sevilla
in
have been
it?
awful this season.
No, Villarreal.
Okay.
Not in it. What'd you say, Dave?
I say, yeah, Sevilla have been absolutely awful this season. I think they've had to let a few players go or something, probably because of like the financial rules in the Liga, and I've heard it's affected them quite badly. They're just not the same team anymore.
Yeah. Spanish teams in the mud currently. What about Arsenal final? How do you feel about that?
Bring it on. I'd love it. Let's beat Arsenal in the final. That would be nice because we're not going to win the league, are we? So it'd be nice to beat them in the final.
Would you fancy our chances?
A one-off
Arsenal?
game. Fancy chances against anyone.
Yeah. But would they be the team that worries you the most? I think that the current best teams are in there. Arguably, you've got Arsenal. I think Sporting actually look really good against Arsenal when I watched
They
them in
do,
the
to be
league.
fair, yeah.
I think Union Berlin had a fantastic season in Germany, but I'm not sure, how well they're doing in Europe, particularly.
Yeah, everyone's
Roma.
they're all on like the same amount of points in Germany. It's mad, isn't it? There's like 4 or 5 teams all on like I don't even know what it is anymore. But last time I checked, it was all very similar.
Yeah. You've got your Dortmunds and then your Berlins, Leipzigs, and Bayern Munich are all relatively close. Juventus as well. I don't know if that would be a return for the Snake and a return for Paul Pogba, who's played an accumulation of 30 minutes.
He's not playing, is he? He's been
injured again, I think.
Yeah, apparently Juventus really unhappy with him. So, yeah, no surprise there. And then you've got Roma, Jose Mourinho, which would be a nice story, wouldn't it, in returning?
Be interesting.
Yeah. I'd actually want to see that because I think,
we've got history.
I think Jose's
Roma
box
as well,
office, isn't it?
We've got history.
What kind of
Roma.
reception do you think Chelsea would get?
I think he'd be clapped.
I think he'd get a warm reception. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, I think maybe a year or 2 years after he left, it would have been a bit frosty, maybe at certain points. But I think everything that he said, or a lot of the stuff that he said, has come to fruition, hasn't it? Since he's, people looking back at his quotes on like Diego Dallo, he's talking about, really good right back for a long term. Quotes about the ownership and stuff. Everything's kind of like, well, yeah, he was right. In fairness,
got Luke Shaw wrong though, did he? Did not.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like he tries doing that tough love thing with a lot of players, and I think nowadays in the kind of the more modern era, I don't know. I think you have to manage them slightly better, and obviously don't want to change his ways. So there's some very interesting ties. I think Arsenal, Sporting, tough games, Union Berlin, Roma. But like you said, I think it'll be a Sevilla or I don't know. So I think we're a pretty shit team.
If we get Sevilla, it's the same city as Real Betis. So basically, just going back to the same city.
Yeah. Just to finish it off.
Just like 2 trips to Seville.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm going to dive into a couple of quotes from the press conference, and the first one is from Ten Hag on Garnacho. He said, "I can't exactly say when Garnacho will be back. It'll take weeks. It is a serious injury. Once again, after Christian Eriksen, we have a serious injury after a contact." Dave, we were speaking about it slightly last night on the show. Did these scissor tackles need to be looked at, do you think?
Yeah, I think they're not supposed to happen, are they? It's supposed to be like a really bad foul, but like it looks like the past few times there's been like 3 or so pretty bad tackles on our players leading to injuries, and like not one of them really been called. It's been really strange. There's been a lot of thing about the Casemiro one, which I think is a red. I don't think anyone can really argue with that.
I agree.
But the problem is, like, there's been like 4 or 5. There's been at least 2 others, but there's potentially even been more tackles that are like basically the same things happened and nothing's gone with it, and it's just like what? Like it's just consistency, man. I think the refs just need to come out, or PGMOL needs to come out and just be like clear, but they just never do, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, I think the only thing we've seen in response from referees recently is where Lee Mason, who got took down from his position, or something along the lines of that, forgetting that. I think that was the
Brentford Arsenal game after that offside thing, and he didn't draw the line or something like that, which is ridiculous as well.
And then you had the Wolves game as well with Liverpool, where like they just, I don't know what was going on there, or did they just not show it, or the angle was weird?
They didn't have the other angle, which is ridiculous because the amount of cameras in there, he's like, there's got to be somebody who's got the fucking angle. Like, come on.
Yeah. And then I think about the West Ham game where it's a slightly different situation, but where Souček, where the ball is out, because we saw one of the angles from the fans, it's clearly out, but because they haven't got a camera to see that, they can't judge whether or not it's gone out, so then they still get the goal. So it's little things like this. I don't know why specifically this season, but it just seems like loads of decisions are just like they've completely cocked up. I mean, you saw how good the officiating has been in like international football and sometimes European football. It's a strange one.
Well, they shit the bed last night with Edison as well, didn't they? In the City game. Like,
what were your thoughts on that? Do you think it was a red? Should have been a red?
Definitely. Like he's just like absolutely sort of mullered him, hasn't it? It's just like it's a goal scoring opportunity. So the rules are, if you prevent a goal scoring opportunity, it's a sending off, isn't it?
In commentary day, they was saying like, oh well, he's not really through there, and I was thinking, if Timo Werner gets that, I know it. Look, Timo Werner misses at the best of times, but I feel like if he goes past Edison there, it's very close to pretty much being a goal.
I actually didn't see that incident, so I can't really comment.
Right,
I'd have to see it myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
But from the reaction I saw from like everyone was just like, what's happening? Why is that not a red? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's very similar to. Do you remember Sadio Mane when he played Liverpool and he came out and he I think he cleaned him out and got sent off Edison, something along the lines of that. So very similar to that. But
Andy Carroll didn't get booked for the Eriksen tackle either, did he?
No, he didn't. I don't think he did.
No, he got sent off, didn't he? Did he not? I thought he got a yellow card.
I don't think he did. He might have got a yellow, but I can't remember properly.
I thought he got a yellow for that, and then he snapped Casemiro as well, didn't he? And then that's when he got sent off. I could be wrong.
I thought he just got a straight red for the Casemiro one. I thought he didn't get booked for the Eriksen one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to dwell on it too long. Speaking of snapping people, Lisandro Martinez has been speaking about potentially playing in midfield for United, or he got asked about it. He said, "We've had many good midfielders. Like I said in many interviews, I will play wherever the coach wants to use me." I'm personally really eager to see this, Sam. What do you think? Do you think we can try him in the next couple of games, or do you think it'd be too detrimental to the back line taking him out of that position?
Yeah, Adam's just put something in the chat. Arab journalist has tweeted something's happening with a picture of the Manchester United corner flag.
Oh, he's been doing that like for the last month.
Oh yeah, he's honey dicking you, mate.
Oh, is he honey dicking? Yeah. He's honey dicking.
Yeah, he's honey dicking.
He's saying he didn't get a booking for the Eriksen tackle. He got a booking near the touchline for something else. So yeah, I didn't even get a booking for the Eriksen tackle.
Oh, fair enough.
So
fair enough.
I'd love to see it. Like, I think if he's capable of playing there, and he said, yeah, I want to play there. I think, to be honest, you could tell Leach to go play in goal. He'd probably do it, wouldn't he? And then punch a striker in the face as he attempts to get the ball. So I think it's worth trying out, because obviously Casemiro's going to be out for 4 games, so we need somebody to play there. We know Fred's not capable of it. We know Scott McTominay's not capable of it. Sabitzer can do it, but do you want to throw in a guy who's he played like 4 or 5 matches for us? Do you want to throw a guy in and play like a DM position for Manchester United for 4 games in a row, and he's just come back from whatever injury he's had, but we still don't know what that is. If Lisandro's played there before, I know we've got Lindelof as well, who's done it for us before and did it for Benfica. Did he come from Benfica? Yeah, did it for Benfica. So we've got some options there that we could try out, and this is probably a good game to try it out in. Like, before 1-up, we've got an advantage. Mistakes in getting used to things, and we're gonna have to find something to solve the next 4 games. So I wouldn't be adverse to not even playing Casemiro in this one and just chucking Leach in just to sort of work out the system and find. It's like a friendly, innit? Just work out how the tactics gonna work, how people are gonna do. So I won't be adverse to it, but I'm sure Ten Hag will play Casemiro because he's not playing for the next 4 games. So I don't think we'll see it this game. But might see it against Fulham. You never know. But I'm open to it. Whatever Ten Hag wants to do it.
I remember being at the Bournemouth game, and I think that was when he first started Luke Shaw at centre back, or it may have been before that, but it was around that time. And then I instantly thought after the game, well, Lisandro's out for the Barcelona game, so that seems like something maybe, is because he wants that left-sided footer on there. So I don't know. Maybe he will try it in one of these games, and you think if he is going to try it, it'd be Betis, but because of Casemiro's availability, it makes it slightly different.
Why not both of them?
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, you could either play both, or you could just swap them around, because Casemiro played centre back as well, and he looked fantastic.
Dan said in the chat, I'd rather play Sabitzer and Leacher in the midfield pivot with Bruno at 10. So
yeah, why not? I'd give it a go. Like you said, if you're going to try something, don't try something too drastic, but you can't do much worse than Leacher at DM. And I think it might be a bit of a hot take, but I think he'd be better in midfield. I actually do. And I know that sounds crazy because he's been fantastic, but I just look at the qualities that he brings to the game, and I think he'd be perfect for a deep line playmaker. Honestly, I think he'd be really, really good. But yeah, I know that's a bit. I think he's people might not agree with.
He's one of those utility players that United have had in the past, where they can play a number of positions on the pitch and do a very good job in every position. Like, I'm not comparing this next person to Leacher, because I think Leacher's a better player, but John O'Shea's one of those players. Played centre back, played full back. I think he played in net once and saved like a bunch of stuff as well in a FA Cup game. So like, you have those players in teams sometimes who, wherever you put them, they're going to do a good job. Rooney played all over the place. He played on the wing, striker, 10. I think he played in DM once, I think, for United at some point when somebody got sent off. So you have those players who are just so talented that they can play in any position. So yeah, I'm all for it if Ten Hag thinks it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Just sticking with players being versatile and moving in different positions and filling in for certain players. Ten Hag got asked about the availability within the squad. Again, me and Sam touched on this last night, so I'll ask Dave this. He said it was. I think we've only had one game when we've had the full squad available. It was against Man City at home, and that is the only time in the season. Every other time in the season, we've had a player suspended, injured, or missing through illness. Are you curious what could have been if we had most players fit, Dave, or do you think it's just a case of, well, this is what we've had to deal with? You deal with this in most seasons, so you kind of expected it.
It's a bit of both, isn't it? Really, like the main curiosity is, what if Martial was fit for the entire season? That's the big one.
Yeah.
Like, because you saw, especially at the start, whenever we were playing with Martial, just everything looked so good. Everything looked so smooth. The players were linking up really well. It's like, oh yeah, this is gorgeous to watch. But then, for some reason this year, Martial's just been every single body part has been injured, and it's really strange because that's not really happened to him before. He's had like bits of injuries, but like he's never really been this bad.
It's not been like back or hip or like stuff like that. Like...
It's like it's not even a recurring one this season. It's like every week it's like a different injury, and it's just come out of nowhere, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's the main one. We've been. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say we've been necessarily super unlucky with injuries. It's more. I think for the most part, we've been okay. It's just we've usually had like maybe one or two players injured, but we've usually been okay. Like the squad's really ravaged by injuries. Been Chelsea this year.
Yeah, it's not just injuries as well. I mean, it's like suspension. I think Casemiro's been out for the combination of 9 games now or something, or 8 games with both suspensions. Sancho going away for 16 games in total. Martial not being available, like we've already touched on. So having these players in regular patterns, which again was what me and Chivy was discussing, I think it'd just be beneficial because you see teams. I know City chop and change quite a lot, but because they have pretty much world class player in nearly every position, you don't see a drop off too much. Whereas when we do it with certain players, it doesn't exactly work. So I'm very, very curious to see like a run of games where, let's say, Casemiro and Sabitzer play together for the next 5-6 games and see how that works. I think that could be interesting. Or we have a run of games where Antony, Martial, Rashford, and Bruno all play together and they get used to the patterns and stuff. I just think it'd be interesting. But yeah, look, sometimes this happens in seasons, doesn't it? I suppose. But I do agree with your point you made that it's not been as bad. Like it's not been Liverpool where at a point where we're wearing t-shirts and shit for fucking players who were injured. But yeah,
how shit has he been this season, by the way? Jesus Christ.
Awful. Yeah, players. I was listening to something the other day, and it was I think it was a fan of Liverpool, and he was saying players are targeting him now. They're going in and they're like, it was at Sri Lanka with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And he was saying they was running him ragged, absolutely running him ragged everywhere. Yeah, he's had 2 seasons where he's been great, but you're comparing him to Vidic's or
somebody. I was watching somebody talk about it, and they were like, I don't even think he's in the top 10 of centre-backs in the Premier League history because he's had 2 good seasons, whereas John Terry, I hate John Terry like a lot, but there's no denying how good a centre-back he was.
But you loved him.
But he had like how many seasons at Chelsea? 10?
Like 11.
11?
It was 11.
Like Rio had what, 5, 6, 7 at United?
No, longer.
Longer?
Rio was longer.
Yeah. Was Rio 03?
03.
Yeah, so I think about 10 years. I think
yeah,
Rio,
so there you go.
Like
so like 10 years plus. Longer. You're in this conversation. 2 years at the top, I don't think you can be in the conversation. But Liverpool's fans will all, I'm sure they're all deleting tweets furiously now when they were calling him the best centre-back ever, best centre-back to ever play in the league, all that sort of stuff. So,
absolutely. Now, this is just a quick head-to-head recap. We know the head-to-head history. We played them once in a competitive game and we won that. So it's a 100% record so far. Woo! So no need to worry. We're going to smash them out of the park tomorrow. And an update on injuries and absences. So Martial hasn't travelled again, even though he's been training consistently for a few weeks now. Sabitzer is back in training, as Sam alluded to before, so he could get some minutes. Casemiro is available, as it's not included in the suspension, and Anthony is ill, apparently. So we have, I think Ten Hag said in his press conference, we have options we will see tomorrow. We have Ilanga, Bruno, and Pellistri. So there's your little update on injuries. Let's do some quick fire questions. Will we score more than one goal tomorrow, lads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will Sabitzer start?
Probably not, because if he's just come back into training, I don't imagine he'll start.
Okay. Will Marcus Rashford be rested?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll say no. I'll say it'll get subbed off at 60 minutes or so.
Okay.
If Garnacho wasn't injured, I reckon he might have been.
Yeah. One player who you would bring in for tomorrow. I think I know it. Most people saying Pellistri, but you got any other shouts you want to see?
Pellistri, Sancho, one of them. They'd be good.
Okay.
We haven't got much option to rotate. Malacia, be good. Get him some minutes. That'd be good. Dallo, give Dallo some minutes. Hopefully he can find some sort of form, so he's back there. I'd love to see Kobe Mainu. I would, but I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
If you know anything about Ten Hag,
some minutes would be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for like 10-5 if we're already through and you can get, give him some European exposure. That'd be nice. Yeah, for sure. Any from yourself, Dave, or just agree with what?
Yeah, Mainu would be nice. I guess it's starting to be crazy, but like, not that I actually don't think he's good enough to. I just think he might not have earned it yet. But yeah, Mainu would be interesting for like the last maybe 15 minutes. Who else? Malacia, I agree with.
I actually want to see Lindelof back in as well.
Yeah, I was thinking Lindelof.
Yeah, because I thought last time he played and he failed, and he had a really, really good game, and I was impressed with him. So it'd be nice to see him back. Not a right back, where he's played in previous European competitions. I want to see him at centre back.
What about Butland?
Yeah, that'd be nice to see him.
The missing person, Butland. Where is he? Him?
Milk cartons.
Does he exist? Is he real? Do we know where he is?
No idea.
I want to see him play one game for us. I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's just I don't know where you're going to play him, but maybe against Fulham or something. I have no idea. Prediction for man of the match.
Casemiro.
Bruno.
What are the odds on us drawing tomorrow?
I'd say they're pretty
30.
good. I'd go 35%. I think, because I think if we struggle, I think it could end up 0-0, 1-1, something like that.
Yeah, that's the way I see it going, in fairness. Cool. Let's do predicted 11s. Dave, do you want to fire us up?
I think we'll go Dave in net.
Dave.
I think Wan-Bissaka will start this one. I think we'll go... Yeah, we go Lindelof and Leacher and Malacia.
Okay.
I'll go Casemiro, and he might just have to be Fred because Sabitz is not... I doubt Sabitz will start. Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, Weghorst.
Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, Weghorst. Okay. Sam?
In any of those positions, because Ten Hag's a madman.
Anywhere, left back.
Weghorst left wing.
Yeah. Oh God, please no.
Weghorst in the DM. Fred paying 10 again. De Gea. I think Dallo comes back in. Lindelof, Maguire, because I swear Maguire has got something in his contract where he has to play a certain amount of minutes. Because
I think it's just aerial, because I was listening when Dave said that. Then he said Lindelof, Lissandro, Malacia, very small back line, in it, like the height wise. I feel like it's very.
I just think he's got a thing in his contract. He has to play a certain amount of minutes, or he's due money or something.
Probably, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, Dallo, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia. I think Casemiro plays just because he's suspended for the next couple of weeks, so I think they'll give him some minutes just so he's not like totally cold when he comes back. I think it's probably Fred because, like you said, Sabitzer is not quite there yet. Bruno, because he plays every single game no matter what. And I think he's going to change the front line. So I think we'll see Pellistri start, Sancho on the left, and then Weghorst up top. I think it'll give Rashford a rest. I'd love to see Martial in there, but obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon. So it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Who did we both say at right back, by the way?
I said Dalot.
Wan-Bissaka, you said Dalot. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I've gone with Dalot. De Gea, Dalot, Maguire, Lisandro, Malacia, Fred, Casemiro, Bruno. I'd love Pellistri to start, but I don't think he does. He'll go with a little bit more experience, and I think he'll probably start Rashford on the right, Weghorst up top, and Sancho on the left. I feel that's the way he'll go, and then take Rashford off, maybe like Dave said, 45th, 60th minute, and bring Pellistri on, hopefully. Yeah, score predictions, Dave?
2-1 United. +1.
Nice. And who scores?
Who scores? Bruno penalty. I know, mad one.
Oh,
nice.
Penalty.
We've
Put money on
not
that.
had one in a while. I think it was Palace.
100 to 1.
Yeah, Bruno penalty and Sancho. Why not?
Lovely. Sam?
2-1 as well. I think Big Veg gets another goal. Probably a really scrappy, shitty goal, but it'll be a goal nonetheless. And Sancho's put one in.
Sancho, a lot of people going for Sancho. Yeah. I'll go 1-1. I think it's going to be a pretty shit game, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I'll go with a surprise. I don't think it'd be an obvious player, maybe a Fred or a Maguire or someone like that. And then the other goal scorer on their team, I'm going Chivy mode. Don't care who it is, as long as we get through. That's all that matters, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll go with Enrique's younger, slightly more.
Yeah, Enrique Iglesias' his brother,
Broja. More bad-looking brother. Broja.
Yeah. Enrique's ugly brother, Broja. Yeah. He didn't even start the last game. He was on the bench as top scorer. I was like, what's going on? I don't know if he's going back from injury. But anyhow, that concludes the preview for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Please click that subscribe button and smash a like on the video. Make sure you follow us on social media. All the handles are at the bottom of the graphic. And make sure you join Adam. Keep him company tomorrow live from 4:45 with team news, because it's one of them weird kickoff times in the Europa League that you see. I think it's 5:45.
Yeah.
Kickoff tomorrow. So yeah, and if you missed our breaking news show last night, make sure you go check that out. We had a really good conversation about Victor Osimhen and Harry Kane, and really deep dived into it. So if you did miss that, please do check that after this video. Cheers for coming on, lads.
No worries, anytime.
Absolutely. And yeah, follow us on socials. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow for the game. Peace.
Have a good one.